Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. Today's topic is one of the most important steps in learning English. Thinking in English. When you learn to think in English, you will speak faster, understand better, and feel more confident. It might sound difficult, but don't worry. I will show you simple steps to help you start thinking in English. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to begin this journey. Let's get started. Why should you think in English? Many people will translate English into their native language in their heads. This takes time, and sometimes the sentences come out wrong. For example, if your first language is Spanish and you want to say tengo hambre, you might think of the words, I have hunger. Well, that's understandable. The correct way to say it in English is, I'm hungry. Thinking in English helps you avoid these mistakes. It also saves time because you don't have to translate everything. Plus, it makes you feel more comfortable when speaking because you don't have to stop and think about every word. Step 1. Start with simple vocabulary. The first step to thinking in English is learning simple words. Look around you right now. What do you see? Maybe a table, a chair, a phone, or a book. Start naming these things in English in your mind. For example, table, chair, phone, book. If you don't know the word for something, check a dictionary or use a translation app. Write it down and practice saying it in your mind. Step 2. Think about actions in English. Now that you know some words, try to think about actions. What are you doing right now? Maybe you were sitting, watching, or listening. Say these actions in your mind in English. I am sitting. I'm watching a video. I'm learning English. You can do this for anything you do during the day. For example, when you wake up, think, I am waking up. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm having breakfast. This helps you connect actions with words and think in English without translating. Step 3. Describe your surroundings. Take a moment to look around you. What do you see? Describe it in English in your mind. For example, the walls are white. There is a lamp on the table. The room is very quiet. This step improves your vocabulary and makes your thinking more natural. If you don't know how to describe something, look it up and practice. Step 4. Talk to yourself in English. Talking to yourself might feel strange at first, but it's a great way to practice thinking in English. You don't need to speak loudly, just say things in your mind. For example, what should I eat for lunch today? I think I'll have a sandwich. I need to go to the store later. Asking yourself questions and answering them in English is a fun and easy way to improve. Step 5. Imagine conversations. Imagining conversations is one of the best ways to train your brain to think in English. It's like creating a mental rehearsal for real-life situations. The idea is to simulate interactions that you might experience so you feel more confident and prepared when they happen in reality. Why should you imagine conversations? It prepares you for real-life scenarios. When you imagine conversations, you practice the language you'll actually use. For example, if you often go shopping, imagining phrases like, how much does this cost? Or, where can I find the bread section? Makes it easier to speak when you're in a store. It trains your brain to think in English. Your brain starts to associate certain situations with English. For example, If you often imagine ordering food in a restaurant, you'll naturally think in English the next time you're dining out. It reduces anxiety. By practicing in your mind, you'll feel less nervous in real-life conversations. You'll already know what to say and how to say it. How to imagine conversations? Start with simple situations. Think about your daily activities. Imagine how a conversation might happen in these scenarios. At a grocery store. Excuse me, where can I find the milk? Do you have any discounts today? At a coffee shop? Can I have a cappuccino, please? Is there a seat available near the window? On the phone? Hello, can I speak to Mr. Smith? Thank you, I'll call back later. Add more details over time. Once you're comfortable with basic conversations, make them more complex. Imagine responses from the other person and how you would reply. For example, you. Can I have a cappuccino, please? Cashier. Sure. Would you like it hot or iced? You. Hot, please, and can you add extra foam? Practice specific vocabulary. If you're preparing for a specific situation, focus on learning the relevant vocabulary. For example, if you're traveling, imagine conversations at the airport. Where is the check-in counter for this airline? What time is the flight to London departing? Imagine emotional conversations. Think about how you might express feelings in English. For example, telling a friend about your day. I had a great day. I visited the park and saw a beautiful sunset. Complimenting someone. You did a great job with this project. Make it a habit. Incorporate it into your daily routine. While walking, cooking, or cleaning, take a moment to imagine conversations. Think about what you would say if someone asked, "What are you doing right now?" Use visual cues. Look around you for inspiration. If you see a book, imagine asking someone, "Have you read this book? Is it good?" Practice with real situations. After imagining a conversation, try it out in real life. If you're at a store, say what you practiced. Do you have this in a different color? Example practice. Imagine you're meeting a friend for the first time. You, "Hi, nice to meet you. How are you?" Friend, "I'm good, thanks, and you?" You, "I'm doing well. What do you like to do for fun?" Friend, "I love hiking. How about you?" You, "I enjoy cooking. Maybe I can cook something for you one day." Practicing this helps you build confidence and improves your ability to respond naturally in English. Why this works? Imagining conversations is powerful because it combines creativity with language practice. It keeps your mind active in English and helps you feel ready for real interactions, even if you don't have anyone to practice with. This technique ensures you're still improving every day. So, start imagining conversations today and enjoy the process. Step 6. Use English every day. To think in English, you need to use it every day. Change the language on your phone or computer to English. Watch English videos or listen to English music. Try to read English books, even if they are for beginners. For example, if you're on social media, try reading English captions. If you watch a video, think about what the people are saying. The more you see and hear English, the easier it will be to think in English. Step 7. Be patient. Learning to think in English is a process, and like any skill, it takes time. At first, you might find it slow or even frustrating. You may struggle to find the right words or feel like your thoughts are scattered, but this is completely normal. Don't be discouraged. Every learner goes through this stage, and with practice, you'll improve. Why does it feel difficult at first? Your brain is used to thinking in your native language. When you start thinking in English, you are essentially training your brain to work in a new way. It's like learning to ride a bicycle. At first, you may fall or lose balance, but with time, you gain confidence and move faster. How to be patient with yourself. Focus on progress, not perfection. It's important to celebrate small victories. Did you manage to think in English for 5 minutes today? That's progress. Did you learn a new word and use it in your thoughts? Amazing. Understand mistakes are learning opportunities. Making mistakes is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of effort. When you notice a mistake, don't feel bad. Instead, think, I learned something new. For example, if you think, I go to the park, instead of, I went to the park, it's an opportunity to correct yourself and remember for next time. Keep practicing daily. Just like building muscles in the gym, thinking in English strengthens your brain's ability to process the language. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Celebrate your achievements. Sometimes, it's easy to focus on what you can't do yet, but don't forget to appreciate how far you've come. Maybe a month ago, you couldn't form a full sentence in English in your mind, and now you can. Maybe today, you've thought in English without even realizing it. Encouragement. Your journey matters. Think about this. Every time you practice thinking in English, you're one step closer to fluency. It doesn't matter if the step feels small. What matters is that you are moving forward. Takeaway. Be kind to yourself and enjoy the process. Thinking in English is not a race, it's a journey. With time, patience, and practice, you'll get there. And when you look back, you'll be proud of how much you've grown. Keep going. And remember, you're doing great. Extra tips for thinking in English. Keep a diary in English. Write about your day in a notebook or on your phone. For example, today I went to the park. The weather was sunny. I saw a dog playing with a ball. This helps you practice vocabulary and grammar while thinking in English. Use flashcards. Make flashcards with English words and pictures. Look at the pictures and think of the words in English. Practice with friends. If you have a friend who is learning English, practice together. Talk about your day, ask questions, and help each other think in English. Conclusion. Learning to think in English is a powerful skill. Start small, practice every day, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you practice, the easier it will become. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Share it with your friends who want to learn English. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about an interesting topic. Why is learning English so important? Whether you are a student, a professional, or just someone curious about languages, English can open many doors in your life. By the end of this video, you will know why English is more than just a language. It's a global key to opportunities. Let's get started. English is a global language. English is one of the most widely spoken languages in the world. It's the official language in over 70 countries, including major nations like the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and South Africa. Additionally, it is often used as a second language in many countries where it is not official, such as India, Germany, and Japan. Why is this important? Because English acts as a bridge. People from different countries and cultures use it to communicate when they don't share a native language. For example, a Brazilian and a Korean meeting at an international conference will likely speak to each other in English. Imagine traveling to a place where you don't speak the local language, such as Japan, Italy, or Turkey. You may not know Japanese, Italian, or Turkish, but English is often the common language in tourist areas, airports, hotels, and restaurants. Here are a few examples. Asking for directions. How do I get to the train station? Ordering food. Can I have a coffee, please? Booking a room. Do you have a single room available? English is also the official language of many global organizations, such as the United Nations, the European Union, and the International Olympic Committee. This means that when important decisions are made or global events are organized, English is the primary language used. Moreover, English is often referred to as the language of business. International companies and industries rely on it for communication between teams in different countries. From emails and reports to meetings and presentations, English is the common ground that connects professionals worldwide. In summary, English is more than just a language. It's a tool that brings people together. Whether you're a traveler, a professional, or simply someone who loves meeting new people, English makes it easier to connect with the world. English is important for education. English plays a crucial role in the world of education. If you dream of studying abroad at prestigious universities like Oxford, Harvard, or Cambridge, knowing English is not just helpful, it's essential. These institutions, along with many others around the globe, conduct their courses and lectures in English. Without a good understanding of the language, it would be difficult to keep up with lessons, complete assignments, or participate in discussions. Access to top universities. Many of the world's most renowned universities are in English-speaking countries, such as the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. For example, Oxford University in the UK is famous for its centuries of academic excellence. Harvard University in the US offers world-class programs in almost every field. Cambridge University is another iconic institution where English is the medium of instruction. These universities often require students to pass English proficiency tests, such as IELTS or TOEFL, to demonstrate their ability to study in English. Without knowledge of the language, these opportunities may be out of reach. Global knowledge and resources. Even if you're not studying abroad, English is still key to accessing some of the best educational materials. Many groundbreaking research papers, scientific studies, and academic books are written in English. For instance, scientists and researchers often publish their findings in English to reach a global audience. Classic literature, modern novels, and influential essays are frequently available only in English or are best understood in their original language. For students studying in their home country, textbooks and subjects like science, mathematics, and business often include English terms or are written entirely in English. Universities also provide online courses and recorded lectures from top professors worldwide, most of which are in English. Online education. The rise of online education platforms like Coursera, edX, and Khan Academy has made it easier for people to learn from the best institutions without leaving their homes. However, most of the courses on these platforms are in English. For example, you could learn computer programming, data science, or marketing from experts, but a solid grasp of English is necessary to understand and follow the lessons. Opportunities for specialization. English also opens doors to advanced degrees and specialized fields. For example, medicine and healthcare. Many medical journals and case studies are in English. Engineering and technology. Software documentation and programming languages are primarily in English. Business and management. The latest theories and practices often originate from English-speaking countries, a universal skill for students. Even at a basic level, students benefit from learning English to understand terms and concepts that are used internationally, e.g., photosynthesis or economics. Write emails or reports for assignments, participate in group discussions with peers from different backgrounds. In conclusion, English is a key that unlocks countless educational opportunities. It gives students access to the best universities, the latest research, and the ability to compete in a globalized academic world. Whether you plan to study abroad or excel in your home country, English is an invaluable tool for learning and success. English helps you get a better job. In today's global job market, English is one of the most valuable skills you can have. Many companies, whether local or international, actively seek employees who can communicate in English. This is because English is the universal language of business, connecting people from different countries and cultures. Regardless of your profession, having a good command of English can set you apart from other candidates and open doors to better job opportunities. Why companies value English. In many industries, being able to speak English is no longer just a bonus. It's a requirement. For instance, international companies, businesses like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft operate across multiple countries, and English is the common language for meetings, emails, and presentations. Employees need English to collaborate with colleagues worldwide. Tourism and hospitality. If you work as a hotel manager, tour guide, or flight attendant, English is essential for communicating with international guests. Medicine and healthcare. Doctors, nurses, and researchers often need English to read medical journals or attend international conferences. Engineering and IT. In technical fields, English is the standard for software development, project management, and technical documentation. Employers know that workers who speak English can handle international clients or business partners, understand global trends and developments, represent the company more effectively on a global stage. English in the workplace. Even in jobs that don't seem connected to English, the language can play a crucial role. For example, customer service. In retail or call center roles, employees who speak English can assist customers from different countries, increasing customer satisfaction. Sales and marketing. If you work in sales, knowing English helps you reach a broader audience and negotiate deals with international buyers. Education. Teachers who speak English can teach the language or use it to access global teaching resources. In many countries, employees who speak English often earn higher salaries than those who don't. This is especially true in roles where you interact with clients, write reports, or present ideas in English. Real-world example. Imagine two job candidates applying for a sales manager position. Candidate A speaks only the local language. Candidate B speaks the local language and English. The employer is more likely to choose candidate B because they can communicate with both local and international clients. Jobs where English is a must. Here are some careers where English is especially important. Tour guide, explaining local history and culture to tourists from around the world. Flight attendant, assisting passengers and ensuring safety on international flights. Software engineer, writing code, and collaborating with global teams. Journalist, reporting on international news or interviewing people from other countries. Entrepreneur, running a business with international clients or suppliers. English for career growth. Knowing English isn't just about getting a job, it's about growing in your career. Employees who can speak English are more likely to get promotions to higher positions, be sent on international business trips, lead important projects that involve global partners. For example, if your company wants to expand to another country, you might be chosen to manage the project because you can communicate effectively in English. How to use English at work. If you already have a job, you can use English to write professional emails, join online courses or training programs to improve your skills. Watch webinars or conferences to learn from global experts. Network with professionals from different countries. In today's world, knowing English is one of the best ways to boost your career. It gives you access to better jobs, higher salaries, and more opportunities for growth. Whether you're a doctor, engineer, or teacher, English is the key to standing out in the job market. Start improving your English today to take the first step toward a brighter future. English is everywhere on the internet. The internet is a global resource connecting billions of people, and English is its dominant language. In fact, over half of the websites you visit are written in English. From social media posts to online courses, English plays a central role in how we share and consume information online. If you know English, you unlock access to a vast amount of content and opportunities that can help you learn, grow, and stay informed. Why English is the language of the internet? English is used on major platforms, websites, and apps because it's widely understood across the world. Whether you're reading a blog, watching a YouTube video, or scrolling through Instagram, there's a good chance the content is in English. For example, news websites, leading platforms like BBC, CNN, and the New York Times provide updates on global events in English. Social media. Apps like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram prioritize English for captions, hashtags, and trends. Educational platforms, sites like Coursera, Khan Academy, and edX offer courses from top universities in English. Being able to understand English lets you participate in global conversations and learn directly from the world's top resources. English for learning and entertainment. Knowing English gives you access to countless online materials for both fun and education. Videos. You can watch tutorials, documentaries, and movies on YouTube, Netflix, or other platforms. Many of these videos are in English or have English subtitles, which can help you improve your language skills while enjoying yourself. Podcasts. Listen to experts discuss topics like science, history, or lifestyle, all in English. Courses and tutorials. Platforms like Udemy and Skillshare offer lessons on everything from cooking to coding in English. Many are free or very affordable. For example, if you want to learn how to bake a cake, search for a tutorial on YouTube in English. You'll find step-by-step instructions, new vocabulary, and the chance to improve your listening skills. Access to global communities. The Internet connects people from around the world, and English is the bridge. Many online communities, forums, and discussion groups use English as their main language. Gaming communities. If you play online games, knowing English helps you communicate with teammates and enjoy the experience more. Hobby groups. Whether you love photography, gardening, or fitness, you'll find English-speaking groups on platforms like Reddit or Facebook. Professional networking. Sites like LinkedIn help you connect with professionals worldwide, and most of the profiles and posts are in English. Stay updated with global trends. English allows you to stay informed about the latest global news and trends. Technology. Learn about new gadgets, apps, and software updates directly from their creators, as most tech companies release information in English. Health and science. Discover new studies or health advice on sites like WebMD or National Geographic. Pop culture. Follow international celebrities, watch the latest Hollywood movies, or enjoy English songs from artists like Taylor Swift or Ed Sheeran. Free resources for learning. The Internet is full of free English resources to help you grow. Online dictionaries. Use websites like Cambridge Dictionary to check meanings and pronunciations. Language apps. Apps like Duolingo and Memrise are available for free to help you practice English. Webinars. Attend free live classes or recorded sessions from experts in any field. English for career and personal growth. Understanding English helps you gain skills that can improve your job prospects and personal development. For example, learn programming languages like Python or Java through English tutorials. Access motivational videos or business advice from global leaders. Enhance your resume by taking free certifications in English from platforms like Google or Microsoft. Real-world example. Imagine you want to learn about climate change. If you only understand your native language, your options might be limited to local websites or translations. But if you know English, you can explore global sources like NASA's website, research papers, or TED Talks from experts worldwide. How to use the Internet to practice English. If you already know some English, you can use the Internet to practice every day. Change your settings. Switch the language on your phone, apps, and social media accounts to English. Follow English pages. Subscribe to channels or pages that share content in English, such as recipe videos, travel blogs, or fitness tips. Join English forums. Participate in discussions on platforms like Quora or Reddit to practice reading and writing. The internet is a powerful tool, and English is the key to unlocking its full potential. From learning new skills to staying informed, knowing English helps you make the most of the online world. Start using English on the internet today, and you'll discover endless opportunities to grow and succeed. English makes travel easier. Traveling to new places is exciting, but it can also be challenging if you don't speak the local language. That's where English comes to the rescue. Known as the global language, English is widely used in the travel industry, making it your best companion when exploring the world. From airports to hotels and restaurants, English bridges the communication gap and helps you navigate unfamiliar places with confidence. Why English is the travel language. English is the default language in many international locations. Even in countries where English isn't the first language, people working in tourism, such as hotel staff, airport workers, and taxi drivers, often speak basic English. This means you can use it to ask questions, understand directions, and solve problems during your trip. For example, at the airport, most signs, announcements, and boarding passes are in English, making it easier to find your gate or understand security instructions. In hotels, staff often communicate with guests in English, whether you're checking in, asking for room service, or requesting extra towels. In restaurants, menus frequently include English translations, especially in tourist areas, so you can choose your meals without confusion. Everyday scenarios where English helps. When you travel, many situations require clear communication. Knowing English ensures you can handle them easily. Here are some examples. At the airport, asking for directions. Excuse me, where is gate 25? Clarifying flight information. Is my flight on time? At a hotel, requesting amenities. Can I have extra pillows? Asking for information. What time is breakfast served? In a restaurant, ordering food. I'll have the grilled chicken, please. Checking dietary options. Do you have vegetarian dishes? In a taxi, giving directions. Can you take me to the train station? Confirming the fare. How much will this cost? These simple phrases in English can turn stressful situations into smooth experiences. Reading signs and maps. Most public places around the world use English for important signs and directions. At airports, you'll see signs like baggage claim or exit in English. On streets, you'll find English labels for landmarks, bus stops, and metro stations. Even maps often include English translations for tourist attractions, helping you navigate with ease. For example, if you visit Paris and want to see the Eiffel Tower, you'll notice signs with the words Eiffel Tower alongside French. This makes it easy to find your way without speaking French. Making friends while traveling. English also helps you connect with people from different cultures. Travelers from all over the world use English as a common language. You can make new friends, share stories, and even get travel tips by speaking English. For instance, meeting someone in a hostel, where are you from, asking for recommendations, what's a good place to visit nearby, sharing experiences. I just visited the museum. It was amazing. These simple conversations can make your trip more enjoyable and memorable. Avoiding travel problems. Travel isn't always smooth. Sometimes you might miss a flight, lose your luggage, or need medical help. In these situations, English becomes even more important. At the airport, if your flight is delayed, you can ask for updates. When is the next flight to New York? At a hotel, if you lose something, you can explain the issue. I left my wallet in the room. Can you help me find it? In an emergency, if you feel sick, you can visit a doctor and explain your symptoms in English. I have a headache and a fever. Knowing English helps you handle problems without feeling helpless. Planning your travel. Even before you leave, English makes planning your trip easier. You can book flights. Airline websites are often in English, so you can choose dates, seats, and destinations easily. Reserve hotels. Most online booking platforms provide descriptions, reviews, and prices in English. Research destinations. Travel blogs and guides in English give tips about the best places to visit, eat, and shop. For example, if you're planning a trip to Tokyo, you can read an English travel guide to learn about popular spots like Shibuya Crossing or Tokyo Tower. Exploring local culture with English. Even though English isn't the native language in many countries, it's often used for cultural activities aimed at tourists. For instance, museums often provide English audio guides or brochures. Guided tours are frequently available in English. Tourist attractions like theme parks or historic sites usually have staff who can explain things in English. This allows you to enjoy the local culture and history without feeling lost or excluded. Tips for using English while traveling. Here are some simple ways to use English confidently while traveling. Learn basic phrases. Practice common travel phrases like, "How much does this cost?" or "Where is the restroom?" before your trip. Carry a phrase book. Keep a small book or app with English phrases and translations for emergencies. Speak clearly. Use simple sentences and speak slowly to ensure others understand you. Traveling is one of life's greatest adventures, and English makes it so much easier. Whether you're exploring a new city, meeting people from different cultures, or solving unexpected problems, English helps you communicate and enjoy your journey. So, before your next trip, practice your English and get ready for an amazing experience. English is easy to start learning. For many learners, English is considered one of the most accessible languages to start with. While every language has its challenges, English has some features that make it beginner-friendly. These characteristics can help you build confidence and stay motivated as you start your language learning journey. Simple grammar rules. One of the reasons English is easier to learn than some other languages is its straightforward grammar. While there are exceptions to the rules, as in any language, the basics are relatively simple. Verb conjugation is minimal. In English, verbs do not change drastically based on the subject, unlike languages like Spanish, French, or German. For example, I go, you go, we go, they go. Only the third person singular, he, she, it, changes slightly. He goes. Compare this to a language like Spanish, where the verb ir, to go, changes into voy, vas, va, vamos, vice, van. For beginners, this simplicity is a big advantage. No gender for nouns. In English, nouns are not assigned genders as they are in many other languages. For instance, in Spanish, a table, mesa, is feminine, and a car, coche, is masculine. In English, you simply say table or car without worrying about gender rules. This removes a layer of complexity for new learners. No complex cases. Unlike Russian or German, English does not have cases, nominative, accusative, dative, etc., that require changing the form of a word based on its role in a sentence. This makes constructing sentences simpler for beginners. Short and easy words. Many common English words are short and easy to pronounce. These simple words help beginners start communicating quickly without feeling overwhelmed. For example, animals: cat, dog, fish, bird. Sizes: big, small, tall, short. Basic actions: run, walk, eat, sleep. You can form simple sentences using these words right away. I have a dog. The cat is small. I want to eat. Additionally, many words in English are similar to words in other languages, especially if those languages are part of the Indo-European family. For example, family in English resembles familia in Spanish or famille in French. These similarities can make vocabulary easier to learn. Resources everywhere. Another reason English is easy to start learning is the abundance of resources available. Whether you prefer books, apps, videos, or games, there's something for every learning style. Apps and games. Apps like Duolingo, Babbel, and Memrise are designed to teach English step by step. They start with the basics, like introducing common words and phrases, and use games to make learning fun. Videos and podcasts. There are thousands of free videos and podcasts aimed at teaching English. Channels on YouTube, for instance, offer beginner lessons on pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. Books and online courses. From beginner-level storybooks to structured online courses, you'll find endless options for learning English. Many of these materials focus on foundational skills like forming sentences and asking questions so you can start using English right away. English is everywhere. Even if you are not actively studying, you are probably exposed to English in your daily life. For example, music. Many popular songs are in English. Listening to them can introduce you to new words and phrases. Movies and TV shows. Subtitled shows can help you connect spoken English with its meaning. Products and technology. Instructions and interfaces for many devices, apps, and websites are written in English. This content exposure helps you pick up basic English naturally. Progress comes quickly. When you start learning English, you can see progress in a short time. With just a few words and phrases, you can already communicate basic ideas. For example, greeting someone. Hello, how are you? Introducing yourself. My name is Anna. I am from Brazil. Asking simple questions. Where is the bus station? This quick progress motivates learners to keep going. You don't need years of study to say something meaningful in English. Step-by-step learning. Because English is relatively simple to start, you can break your learning into small, manageable steps. For example, start with basics. Learn numbers, colors, and common objects. Practice greetings. Learn how to say hello, goodbye, and introduce yourself. Form simple sentences. Combine the words you know to express basic ideas like I like coffee. Expand vocabulary. Gradually add new words for everyday use like food, clothes, and places. Each small success builds your confidence and makes learning enjoyable. Confidence without overwhelm. Unlike some languages, English doesn't demand perfection from the start. Even with basic grammar and vocabulary, you can communicate effectively. For example, if you say, I go to store, people will still understand you, even though the correct sentence is, I am going to the store. This flexibility allows you to focus on learning without worrying too much about making mistakes. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. English is a beginner-friendly language with simple grammar, short words, and plenty of learning resources. Its global presence ensures you're exposed to it almost everywhere, making it easier to start and keep improving. By learning step by step and celebrating small wins, you'll find that English is not just easy to begin, but also fun to master. Now you know why learning English is so important. It connects the world, helps with education, improves job opportunities, and makes life easier when you travel. It also gives you access to the internet and new cultures. If this video helped you understand the value of English, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more tips and lessons. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Hi, I'm Mark. Welcome to Bookish 24/7. Today we're diving into something essential: how to speak English better than ever before. Have you ever felt like, no matter how much you study, speaking English still feels challenging? You're not alone. Many learners feel the same way. But here's the great news. You can improve, and it doesn't have to take years. With the right techniques, you can start speaking more confidently right now. Chapter 1. The start of your journey. What makes fluent speakers different? Surprisingly, it's not that they know every word or never make mistakes. In fact, fluent speakers make mistakes all the time. What truly sets them apart is their confidence, the ability to keep communicating even when they stumble or forget a word. The role of confidence and fluency. Confidence is the engine that drives fluency. Fluent speakers trust themselves to convey their message, even when their vocabulary is limited or their grammar is imperfect. They don't let small errors stop them. Instead, they focus on the flow of conversation, ensuring their message gets across. Think of it like this. Confidence acts as a bridge between what you know and what you're able to express. Without confidence, even the most extensive vocabulary can feel out of reach. A real-life example. Imagine this. You're at a cafe, and someone starts a conversation in English. If you feel confident, you'll likely smile, respond naturally, and keep the conversation going, even if you don't know every word. On the other hand, without confidence, you might freeze or avoid speaking altogether, missing a chance to practice. The good news? Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through practice and small successes. The goal: flowing conversations. Picture this. You're having a conversation and the words just flow. You're not stopping to think about grammar rules or searching your brain for the right word. You're simply speaking, and it feels effortless. This is the level of fluency most learners dream of, and it's 100% achievable. But how do you get there? It's not about memorizing thousands of words or spending hours a day on grammar drills. The secret lies in small, focused adjustments to how you practice. The power of small changes. Big improvements don't require dramatic changes. You don't need to transform your entire study routine or cram hundreds of new words in. Instead, focus on strategies that make speaking easier and more natural. Practice speaking daily, even if it's just for a few minutes. Start conversations with simple phrases and build from there. Use techniques like shadowing to train your brain to think in English. The first step on your journey to fluency is building confidence. Once you believe in your ability to communicate, every other skill, listening, vocabulary, grammar, will improve faster and feel easier. Confidence is the foundation, and from here, we'll explore the techniques to help you strengthen it and achieve your goals. Let's take the next step together. Chapter 2. The Power of Active Listening. If you want to speak English fluently, the first step isn't speaking, it's listening. Good listening skills lay the foundation for fluent speech. Why? Because when you listen carefully, you learn how sentences are structured, how words are pronounced, and how ideas are connected naturally by native speakers. Why listening matters. Think of listening as your guide. It's like watching a chef cook before trying the recipe yourself. You're not just hearing sounds, you're observing how words fit together, how intonation rises and falls, and how certain expressions are used in real-life situations. This is what sets active listening apart from simply hearing words. What is active listening? Active listening means fully focusing on what you hear, breaking it down, and learning from it. It's about going beyond the surface and noticing the small details that make a conversation flow naturally. For example, passive listening, hearing English in the background without paying attention. Active listening, concentrating on the speaker's pronunciation, sentence patterns, and word usage. When you practice active listening, you train your brain to recognize and remember the rhythms and patterns of English. Over time, this makes speaking feel more natural and less intimidating. The shadowing technique, your secret weapon. One of the best ways to practice active listening is through shadowing. This technique helps you improve your listening and speaking skills at the same time. Think of it as imitating a native speaker to match their flow and confidence. Here's how to do it. Choose a short podcast or video. Pick something interesting but not too difficult. You can find great examples on YouTube or in language learning apps. Listen carefully. Focus on one sentence or phrase at a time. Pay attention to the speaker's tone, speed, and rhythm. Pause and repeat. After hearing the sentence, pause the audio and try to say it exactly as the speaker did. Match their tone and pronunciation as closely as possible. Why shadowing works? Shadowing is powerful because it combines listening with immediate practice. You're not just absorbing the language, you're actively using it. This builds muscle memory for speaking and helps you internalize correct pronunciation and sentence flow. Think of shadowing as a workout for your mouth and brain. Just like a runner trains their muscles to move efficiently, shadowing trains your tongue, lips, and brain to produce English effortlessly. Real-life benefits of active listening. Active listening doesn't just improve your language skills. It also boosts your confidence in real-life conversations. For instance, when someone speaks to you, you'll understand them better because you've trained your ears to pick up on nuances. You'll respond faster because your brain is familiar with common phrases and sentence structures. Over time, you'll notice your pronunciation and fluency improving without even realizing it. Start small, grow big. If shadowing feels challenging at first, don't worry. Start with just a few sentences a day. As you get more comfortable, increase the time you spend listening and repeating. Consistency is key, and even 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. Remember, listening is not just a passive skill. It's an active part of becoming fluent. The more you train your ears, the easier it will be for your mouth to follow. In the next chapter, we'll explore another simple yet powerful technique: repetition. Combined with active listening, it will help you make speaking English feel as natural as breathing. Chapter 3. Repetition creates fluency. When it comes to speaking English fluently, you might think you need to know thousands of words or master every grammar rule. But the truth is, fluency isn't about knowing everything. It's about being able to use what you know quickly and confidently. That's where repetition plays a crucial role. Why repetition is the key. Repetition works because it creates strong connections in your brain. Each time you repeat a sentence or phrase, your brain becomes faster at recalling it. This is why phrases you use often, like "How are you?" or "Thank you," roll off your tongue without hesitation. Think about learning to ride a bike. At first, it feels awkward, and you might fall, but with practice, the movements become second nature. The same principle applies to speaking English. The more you repeat, the more natural it feels, and soon you'll be able to speak without stopping to think about every word. How repetition builds confidence. Repetition doesn't just help with memory, it also builds confidence. When you practice saying the same sentences repeatedly, you become familiar with their structure, pronunciation, and rhythm. This familiarity makes it easier to use them in real conversations. For example, let's say you practice the sentence, "Can you tell me how to get to the train station?" After repeating it multiple times, you won't hesitate to say it when you actually need directions. You'll feel confident because the phrase is already stored in your memory, ready to use. Simple ways to practice repetition. Phrase journaling. Write down common phrases or sentences you want to master every day. Choose a few to practice aloud. Focus on saying them smoothly and naturally. Repetition with flashcards. Create flashcards with sentences instead of single words. For example, front. How do I order a coffee? Back. Practice saying this sentence 5 times quickly and smoothly. Practice in context. Instead of repeating random words, use full sentences that you're likely to say in real life. For instance, practice introducing yourself. "Hi, my name is Alex. I'm from Brazil. Nice to meet you. Repeat it until it feels effortless. Shadow conversations. Combine repetition with shadowing by replaying short conversations from movies, podcasts, or videos. Repeat each line until you can say it smoothly. Daily challenges. Set a goal to repeat 5 to 10 sentences every day. Gradually increase the difficulty as you improve. The power of repetition in real life. Imagine you're at a cafe in an English-speaking country. The first time you order coffee, you might feel nervous and unsure. But if you've practiced sentences like, "Can I have a cappuccino, please?" repeatedly, the words will come naturally. You'll feel confident, and ordering coffee will be stress-free. Repetition also helps in unexpected situations. For instance, if someone asks, "How was your day?" and you've practiced answering this question, you'll respond with ease instead of hesitating. Common myths about repetition. Some learners believe repetition is boring or unnecessary, but here's the truth. Repetition isn't about memorizing like a robot. It's about building habits. It's not boring when you practice with sentences you care about. Choose phrases you're likely to use in your daily life or that are relevant to your goals. Repetition and long-term fluency. The beauty of repetition is that its effects are long-lasting. Words and phrases you've repeated many times don't just disappear from your memory, they stick with you. This means that even if you don't use a phrase for weeks, it will still feel familiar when you need it. A personal story of success. One of my students, Sam, struggled with speaking. He felt he had to think too much before saying anything. I introduced him to the repetition technique. Each day, he practiced 10 sentences, focusing on saying them naturally. After a month, Sam noticed a big change. In conversations, he could recall phrases instantly without overthinking. This boosted his confidence, and he began speaking more often, which led to even greater fluency. Start small, stay consistent. Repetition doesn't mean spending hours every day saying the same thing. Even practicing for just 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. Start small, and over time, you'll see how this simple technique transforms your speaking skills. Conclusion. Learning to speak English fluently may seem like a big challenge, but as we've seen throughout this journey, it's achievable with the right mindset and techniques. Building confidence is your foundation. It's what allows you to keep going even when you make mistakes. Active listening sharpens your ability to understand and speak naturally, while repetition strengthens your memory and helps you speak without hesitation. Fluency doesn't happen overnight, but every small step you take brings you closer to your goal. Whether it's practicing for 5 minutes a day, shadowing a podcast, or repeating key phrases, the key is consistency and belief in your ability to improve. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. Each word, sentence, or conversation you attempt is a victory that builds your confidence and skill. You're not just learning a language, you're opening doors to new opportunities, cultures, and connections. If this video helped you on your English journey, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Bookish 24/7. Your support helps us continue creating content to guide you toward fluency. Let us know in the comments which tip you'll try first. See you in the next video and keep practicing. You've got this. Why learning English at home is possible. Learning English at home might sound challenging, but it's more achievable than you think. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country or attend expensive classes to make progress. With the right strategies and mindset, you can turn your home into the perfect environment for learning. Why does it work? At home, you control your learning. You decide when and how to practice. You can create a space where it's okay to make mistakes, experiment with new words, and repeat phrases until they feel natural. Many people have successfully learned English without ever leaving their homes, and you can too. Take John, for example. John wanted to learn English but lived in a small town where no one spoke the language. He started practicing by talking to himself at home, listening to English songs, and imitating what he heard. Within months, he was having simple conversations online with native speakers. This video will show you how to follow the same path. You'll hear inspiring stories, learn simple tips, and discover how to turn your daily life into an English learning opportunity. Let's get started. Tip 1. Speak out loud to yourself. One of the simplest and most effective ways to practice English at home is to speak out loud to yourself. It may feel strange at first, but this method helps you build confidence and get used to forming sentences in English. Think about your daily routine. While making coffee, say out loud, "I'm making coffee. I need some sugar. Where is my spoon?" If you're cleaning, narrate what you're doing. "I'm cleaning the table. The floor is dirty. I need a mop." This practice helps your brain connect words to actions and makes speaking English feel natural over time. Here's an inspiring story. Sarah, a university student from Brazil, struggled with speaking English. She understood grammar and could write well, but she froze when speaking to others. She decided to start small, talking to herself in the mirror for 5 minutes every day. At first, it was hard. She didn't know what to say and felt silly, but Sarah didn't stop. She began describing her day. "I woke up late today. I had eggs for breakfast." Then she moved to describing her dreams and goals. "I want to visit Canada someday. I want to see snow." After 3 months, Sarah noticed a big change. When her professor asked her a question in English, she could answer without hesitation. Her daily habit of speaking to herself gave her the confidence she needed to express herself. So why not try it? Start by narrating your actions or practicing simple phrases. Don't worry about mistakes. Nobody's listening. The more you speak out loud, the more comfortable you'll feel using English in real conversations. Story: Anna's journey to confidence. Anna was a 27-year-old teacher from Poland with a big dream. She wanted to teach her subject internationally. However, there was one problem: her English-speaking skills. While Anna could write emails and understand English podcasts, speaking was her biggest challenge. She always felt nervous. Her words would freeze in her mouth, and she was terrified of making mistakes. One day, Anna read about a tip that could help: talking to herself out loud at home. At first, she thought it was silly. How can talking to myself help? There's no one to correct me. But she decided to try. Anna started small. Every morning, she stood in front of her mirror and greeted herself. "Good morning, Anna. How are you today? You look happy." It felt awkward at first, but after a week, it became part of her routine. Then she took it further. She pretended to give short presentations to an imaginary audience in her living room. At work, she started describing her lessons in English. Today, I taught my students about history. They enjoyed the lesson. I used a map to explain the topic. Anna also began using voice recording apps to capture her practice sessions. Hearing herself was uncomfortable at first, but it helped her spot common mistakes and improve her pronunciation. One day, her confidence was put to the test. A colleague invited her to join an online international conference. Nervous but determined, Anna accepted. She practiced her introduction every evening. "Hello, I'm Anna from Poland. I teach history, and I'm excited to be here." When the day came, Anna surprised herself. She spoke clearly and confidently. Sure, she made a few mistakes, but she smiled, laughed them off, and kept talking. After the session, someone sent her a message. "You were amazing, Anna. I loved your presentation." That moment changed everything for her. Anna's journey showed her that confidence doesn't come all at once. It's built step by step. By speaking out loud to herself daily, she created a safe space to practice and improve without fear of judgment. Her advice to others: don't be afraid to start small. Talk to yourself, even if it feels strange. You're your best practice partner. Anna's story is proof that you don't need a classroom or a teacher to build speaking confidence. All you need is your voice, some determination, and a few minutes each day. Tip 2. Use technology to practice. Technology can be your best friend when learning English at home. Apps, videos, and online tools make it easy to practice speaking, listening, and even thinking in English. But let me tell you about Daniel, a university student from Brazil who struggled with practicing English on his own until he discovered the power of technology. Daniel's story: turning apps into allies. Daniel dreamed of becoming an engineer and working abroad. His reading and writing skills in English were decent, but speaking and listening, that was another story. "I don't have anyone to practice with," he thought. "How can I improve if I'm always alone?" One day, a friend introduced him to an app that connects learners with native speakers for casual conversations. Nervous but curious, Daniel signed up. His first conversation was a disaster. He froze, forgot words, and misunderstood simple phrases. The other person kindly encouraged him, but Daniel felt embarrassed. Instead of giving up, Daniel came up with a new plan. He started using language apps with speech recognition features like Duolingo and HelloTalk to practice speaking in a less intimidating way. He also explored YouTube channels where he could listen to slow, clear English conversations and repeat what he heard. Each day, he dedicated 30 minutes to using apps and watching videos. He also discovered a website where he could join live speaking sessions with other learners. At first, he only listened, but after a week, he introduced himself. "Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Brazil. I'm here to practice English." Daniel quickly noticed the difference. He began picking up common phrases and improving his pronunciation. Whenever he felt unsure about a word, he used an app to record himself saying it, then compared his pronunciation to a native speaker. The breakthrough moment. After 2 months, Daniel had a big opportunity. his professor invited him to a virtual seminar where he had to present in English. He was nervous but prepared. During the seminar, Daniel used the phrases he had practiced online and spoke clearly. When the session ended, one of the panelists, a recruiter from an international company, messaged him saying, "You did great, Daniel. Let's keep in touch." That day, Daniel realized how far he had come. Daniel's advice. Daniel now tells anyone learning English, don't wait for a perfect situation to practice. Use the tools you have. Apps and videos help me speak confidently, even when I didn't have a partner. By making technology a part of his daily routine, Daniel proved that you can create a strong English learning environment at home. Whether it's through apps, virtual meetups, or even recording yourself, technology is a powerful tool to build fluency. So why not give it a try? Practice with apps, explore online resources, and see how quickly you improve. Just like Daniel, you might surprise yourself. Story: Miguel's virtual practice success. Miguel, a high school teacher from Mexico, had always wanted to learn English to connect with his students' parents who spoke the language. But Miguel had one big challenge. He lived in a small town where there were no English classes or practice partners. He felt stuck, unsure of how to improve his speaking skills. One evening, after watching a YouTube video about learning languages, Miguel discovered an online platform for virtual English conversations. At first, the idea of speaking with strangers online felt overwhelming. What if I make a fool of myself? He wondered. But Miguel also knew that if he wanted to get better, he needed to practice. The first steps, Miguel started small. Instead of jumping straight into live conversation, he began using the platform's chat feature. Typing in English gave him time to think and check his grammar. He introduced himself to other learners from around the world. "Hi, my name is Miguel. I'm from Mexico. I'm learning English because it's important for my job." As Miguel gained confidence, he decided to join a beginner speaking group hosted by a native English speaker. The first session was nerve-wracking. When it was his turn to speak, his voice trembled as he said, "Hello, I am Miguel. I live in a small town. I'm a teacher." The group leader smiled and replied, "Great start, Miguel. Tell us, what do you teach?" Encouraged by the warm response, Miguel continued slowly. By the end of the session, he felt a small sense of accomplishment, finding his rhythm. Over the next few weeks, Miguel committed to joining 3 virtual practice sessions per week. He focused on everyday topics like hobbies, food, and family. When he made mistakes, the group leader corrected him gently, and Miguel kept going. One day, during a session on introductions, Miguel surprised himself. Without overthinking, he confidently said, "Hi, I'm Miguel. I teach high school in Mexico. I want to learn English to help my students and their families." The other participants clapped and encouraged him, and for the first time, Miguel felt like he could really do this. The breakthrough moment. Miguel's big test came when a parent at his school asked him a question in English. In the past, Miguel would have apologized and switched to Spanish, but this time he smiled and responded, "Yes, your son is doing well in my class. He needs to do his homework more, but he is a good student." The parent thanked him, and Miguel felt a wave of pride. It wasn't perfect English, But he had communicated clearly, and that was a victory. Miguel's message. Now Miguel tells his students, "Don't be afraid to practice. When I started, I made many mistakes, but that's how I learned. Speaking with people online helped me become confident." Miguel's journey shows that even without in-person classes, virtual practice can open doors to better communication. By connecting with others online, Miguel not only improved his English, but also discovered the joy of learning through community. And if Miguel can do it, so can you. Tip 3. Immerse yourself in English media. Learning English at home doesn't mean you can't surround yourself with the language. Immersing yourself in English media, like TV shows, movies, podcasts, and music, can transform your learning experience. It's a fun and natural way to absorb the language, even if you don't fully understand everything at first. How to get started. Choose content you enjoy. Pick shows, songs, or podcasts that match your interests. Love cooking? Watch recipes in English? Enjoy mystery stories? Try an English detective series. Use subtitles. Start with subtitles in your native language to follow the story, then switch to English subtitles as you improve. Repeat and mimic. Watch or listen multiple times, repeating key phrases out loud. This helps with pronunciation and builds confidence. Sing along. Singing your favorite English songs improves rhythm, vocabulary, and speaking fluency. Now let's meet someone who used this tip to change their life. Story: Priya's love for English movies. Priya, a university student in India, always admired people who could speak English fluently. She dreamed of getting a job at an international company, but felt shy about her English skills. She didn't know many people who spoke English, and classes alone weren't helping. One day, her friend suggested watching English movies. Priya wasn't sure it would work, but she decided to give it a try. Her first movie was The Lion King. She watched it with subtitles in her native language, enjoying the story and the music, from entertainment to learning. At first, Priya focused on understanding the plot, but as she watched more movies, she began noticing repeated phrases and expressions. Words like Hakuna Matata from The Lion King stuck in her mind, and she started mimicking the characters. She made a habit of watching one movie a week. Slowly, Priya switched from subtitles in her language to English subtitles. This small change helped her connect written words with how they were pronounced. Her favorite moment came while watching Harry Potter, when Harry said, "I solemnly swear that I am up to no good." Priya paused the movie, rewound the scene, and practiced the line until she got it right. Expanding her routine, movies weren't the only thing Priya used. She added English songs to her playlist and sang along while doing chores. At first it felt silly, but she noticed her pronunciation improving. Priya also discovered podcasts on topics like career advice and personal growth. Listening during her daily commute turned boring rides into learning opportunities. The results. After 6 months of immersing herself in English media, Priya's confidence skyrocketed. She found herself understanding conversations better and even using expressions she picked up from movies and songs. During a mock interview at her university, she surprised everyone by speaking confidently in English. Priya's advice: Priya says, if you love movies, music, or podcasts, use them to learn English. You don't need to understand everything at first. Just keep going, and one day you'll realize you're thinking and speaking in English without even trying. What about you? Whether it's a movie you've been wanting to watch or a playlist of English songs, immersing yourself in English media is a fun way to learn at home. Start today, and you might just have your own success story like Priya's. Story: Robbie's love for English movies. Robbie, a shopkeeper from a small town in India, had always wanted to learn English. His dream was to expand his business and attract international customers who visited his town. However, Robbie struggled with learning the language in school. The lessons felt boring, and he couldn't remember what he learned. He thought he was too old to try again, but deep down, he still wanted to learn. A new start with an old TV. One evening, while flipping through channels on his old TV, Robbie stumbled upon an English movie. It was Kung Fu Panda. The bright colors and fun characters immediately caught his attention. He didn't understand most of the dialogue, but he laughed at Poe's clumsy antics and connected with the movie's message: believe in yourself. After that night, Robbie decided to make watching English movies a part of his routine. The beginning was hard. At first, Robbie felt overwhelmed. The characters spoke too fast, and he couldn't follow the subtitles in English. He often paused the movie to check words in a dictionary. It was frustrating, and Robbie wondered if he was wasting his time. But then he remembered Poe's struggles in Kung Fu Panda. If Poe could train to become a hero, Robbie thought, why can't I learn English? Inspired, he stuck with his plan. Making movies a learning tool, Robbie created a system for himself. Watch with subtitles in his language. He would watch the movie once to understand the story. Watch with English subtitles. The second time, he focused on connecting the spoken words with their written forms. Repeat key scenes. Robbie rewound scenes with simple, clear dialogue and repeated them out loud. One of his favorites was when Poe said, "I'm not a big fat panda. I'm the big fat panda." Slowly, Robbie began recognizing common words and phrases. Learning through fun. Movies weren't just a study tool for Robbie. They were fun. He watched classics like The Jungle Book, where Baloo sang The Bare Necessities, and action-packed films like Avengers, learning phrases like "I am Iron Man." He also started practicing lines from his favorite movies with customers who spoke English. At first, they laughed kindly at his efforts, but they encouraged him to keep going. A turning point. One day, an Australian tourist came to Robbie's shop. Nervously, Robbie greeted him in English. "Hello, sir. How can I help you?" The tourist smiled and asked about local souvenirs. Robbie managed to have a short but successful conversation using words and phrases he had picked up from movies. After the customer left, Robbie felt a rush of pride. He realized that, although he still had a long way to go, he had made real progress. 6 months later, Robbie now watches one English movie every week and even sings along to English songs while working. His confidence has grown, and he's no longer afraid to try speaking with international customers. Robbie's advice. Robbie shares, I thought learning English would be boring, but movies made it fun. It's okay to not understand everything. The more you watch, the more you learn. Start with your favorite movie. You'll enjoy the process and improve without even realizing it. What can you learn from Robbie? Robbie's journey shows that you don't need a classroom to learn English. A little creativity, consistency, and fun can turn even a simple hobby like watching movies into a powerful learning tool. So, pick a movie you love and start your English learning adventure today. Tip 4. Create a daily routine. Learning English at home requires consistency, and having a daily routine can make all the difference. Think of it as building a habit. Even small, consistent efforts add up over time. Here's how you can create an effective routine. 1. Start small. You don't need hours to improve your English. Start with just 15 to 30 minutes a day. For example, spend 5 minutes reviewing new words. Use 10 minutes to practice speaking or reading aloud. Watch a short video or listen to a song in English for the remaining time. The key is to make it manageable and not overwhelming. 2. Mix activities. Doing the same thing every day can get boring. Try to include different types of practice. Speaking, talk to yourself, narrate what you're doing, or repeat phrases. Listening. Listen to podcasts, songs, or simple videos. Reading. Read short stories, articles, or even product labels in English. Writing. Write down a few sentences about your day or what you learned. This variety keeps learning fun and engages different skills. 3. Choose the best time for you. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Choose a time of day when you feel most alert. Some people prefer studying in the quiet of the morning, while others enjoy practicing at night. 4. Track your progress. Keep a notebook or journal to record what you've learned each day. Write down new words and their meanings, phrases you practiced, any small wins like speaking with a friend in English. Looking back on your progress can motivate you to keep going. 5. Stay flexible. Life can get busy, and that's okay. If you miss a day, don't feel discouraged. Just pick up where you left off. The goal is to build a habit over time. Why routines work. Having a routine removes the need to think about when or how to study. It becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth or eating breakfast. The more consistent you are, the faster you'll see results. A quick example routine. Morning. Read 5 sentences from a short English text. Practice saying them out loud. Afternoon. Watch a short video in English and repeat key phrases. Evening. Write 3 sentences about your day in English. This simple routine takes less than 30 minutes but covers speaking, reading, and writing. In the next section, we'll see how one learner used a daily routine to transform their English skills. Story. Sophia's 30-minute challenge. Sophia was a busy mom with 2 young kids and a full-time job. She always dreamed of learning English, but her days were packed and she didn't think she had time. One evening, while scrolling through videos, she came across the idea of creating a daily routine for learning English, even if it was just for 30 minutes. At first, Sophia doubted herself. Can 30 minutes a day really make a difference? But she decided to give it a try. She set a challenge to practice English every day for 1 month, no matter how tired or busy she was. Sophia's routine. Sophia kept her routine simple and realistic. Morning. She started her day by listening to a 5-minute English podcast while making breakfast. Afternoon. During her kids' nap time, she wrote down 5 sentences about her day in a small notebook. Evening. After putting her kids to bed, she spent 15 minutes watching her favorite TV show with English subtitles. The first week. The first week was tough. Sophia often felt tired, and some days she wanted to skip her practice. But she reminded herself, it's only 30 minutes. She stuck with it, even when she made mistakes or forgot words. By the end of the week, Sophia noticed something surprising. She had already learned several new words from her TV show. Words like amazing, delicious, and funny started to stick in her memory. Facing challenges, midway through the challenge, Sophia hit a roadblock. Her youngest child got sick, and her days became even busier. She missed 2 days of practice and felt discouraged. But then she remembered something she had heard. Progress, not perfection. Instead of quitting, she picked up where she left off. She shortened her routine for a few days, but didn't stop entirely. The breakthrough. By the 3rd week, Sophia felt more confident. She began speaking simple sentences to her kids in English like, "Let's play," or "Time for lunch." To her surprise, they started repeating the words back to her, turning learning into a family activity. The end of the month. At the end of the 30 days, Sophia looked back on her progress. She wasn't fluent, but she could write short sentences without hesitation, understand simple conversations in her favorite TV shows, say a few sentences out loud with confidence. Sophia was so proud of herself that she decided to continue her daily routine. She even increased her study time to 45 minutes because she was enjoying it so much. Sophia's message to you. Sophia often tells others, you don't need hours to learn English. Even 30 minutes a day can change everything. Just start small, be patient, and don't give up. If I can do it, so can you. Her journey shows that with a little consistency and determination, anyone can make progress in learning English, even at home. Up next, let's wrap up with a motivational conclusion and tips for creating your own routine. Motivation. Your efforts will pay off. Learning English at home may seem challenging, but every small effort you make is like planting a seed. At first, it might feel like nothing is happening. You may struggle to remember words, feel shy about speaking, or wonder if all your work is worth it. But with time and consistency, those small efforts will grow into big results. Think of Sophia, Miguel, Anna, and Robbie. Each of their stories reminds us that progress isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard. Anna built her confidence by talking to herself. Miguel used technology to connect with people from around the world. Robbie turned his love for movies into a way to learn. Sophia proved that just 30 minutes a day can change everything. The power of consistency. It doesn't matter if you only have 10 minutes today or if you make mistakes along the way. What matters is that you keep trying. Every word you learn, every sentence you speak, and every time you practice is a step closer to fluency. Picture this. Imagine yourself 3 months from now. You're speaking English with confidence, understanding conversations, and feeling proud of how far you've come. That future is possible, and it starts with the efforts you make today. You're not alone. Remember, millions of people around the world are on the same journey as you. It's okay to feel frustrated or stuck sometimes. The important thing is not to give up. Find what works for you. Enjoy the process and celebrate every small victory along the way. Final message: your efforts will pay off. Every time you practice, you're improving, even if it doesn't feel like it right away. Stay patient, stay consistent, and trust in the process. You're capable of amazing things. If you're ready to start your own journey, begin today. Write your goals, make a plan, and take that first step. And don't forget to share your progress in the comments below. Let's learn together and inspire each other. Keep going. You've got this. Conclusion: start your home journey today. Learning English at home is not just a possibility, it's an opportunity. With the right mindset, tools, and daily commitment, you can make incredible progress from the comfort of your own home. Think back to the stories of Anna, Miguel, Robbie, and Sophia. Each of them started small, faced challenges, and found creative ways to grow their skills. They didn't need expensive courses or to live in an English-speaking country. They just needed dedication and a clear goal. Take the first step today. Whether it's speaking to yourself in the mirror, watching a movie in English, or setting aside 30 minutes to practice, your journey can start right now. Small actions, repeated every day, will lead to big results. A reminder for you: don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. Mistakes are part of the learning process, and every stumble is a step forward. Be patient with yourself and enjoy the experience. Your journey is unique. No matter where you are starting from, your effort is what matters most. It's not about how fast you learn, but about the consistency and passion you bring to the process. Join the community. Share your journey with others who are also learning. Let's support and motivate each other. Leave a comment about your favorite tip or how you plan to start today. Final encouragement: you are capable of learning English and reaching your goals. Start small, stay consistent, and remember, every day is a step closer to the fluent, confident English speaker you want to become. Let's begin this journey together. Your future self will thank you. Speaking English well is not just about learning a language. It's about building bridges to a world full of opportunities. Imagine being able to talk confidently with people from different countries, make new friends, or even land your dream job. English is the most widely spoken language in the world, and mastering it can truly change your life. But let's face it, speaking English isn't always easy. You might feel nervous, forget the right words, or worry about making mistakes. That's completely normal. The good news is that anyone can learn to speak English well with practice and the right techniques. Why is speaking so important? While reading and writing are valuable skills, speaking is what connects you to people. It helps you express your ideas, share your thoughts, and show your personality. Whether you're traveling, working, or studying, Being able to speak English fluently gives you confidence and freedom. In this video, we're going to explore simple and effective ways to improve your speaking skills. By the end, you'll feel more motivated and ready to start speaking English better than ever before. Are you ready to take the first step toward confident English speaking? Let's begin. Common challenges in speaking English. Learning to speak English well is a journey, and like any journey, it comes with challenges. Let's talk about some of the most common problems that English learners face, and don't worry, you're not alone. 1. Fear of making mistakes. Many learners feel nervous when speaking English because they're afraid of making mistakes. They worry about sounding silly or using the wrong words. But here's the truth. Mistakes are essential for learning. No one speaks perfectly from the start. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. How to overcome this? Focus on communication, not perfection. The goal is to be understood, not to be perfect. Remind yourself that every mistake is a step closer to fluency. Practice with supportive people who understand your learning. 2. Lack of practice. Speaking is a skill, and like any skill, it needs regular practice. If you don't speak English often, it's easy to feel stuck or lose confidence. You might understand English when listening or reading, but feel frozen when it's time to speak. How to overcome this? Speak a little English every day, even if it's just to yourself. Join online conversation groups or practice with friends. Narrate your daily activities in English to build confidence. 3. Trouble with pronunciation. Pronunciation can be tricky, especially with English. Some sounds might not exist in your native language, or words might not sound the way they're spelled. This can make learners feel unsure about speaking. How to overcome this? Listen to native speakers as much as possible through podcasts, videos, or music. Use apps or online tools to practice pronunciation and compare your speech to native examples. Break down difficult words into smaller parts and practice them slowly. 4. Limited vocabulary. Another common challenge is feeling like you don't know enough words to express yourself. This can lead to hesitation or frustration when trying to speak. How to overcome this? Learn words in context, like through stories or conversations, instead of just memorizing lists. Start with everyday words and phrases that you can use immediately. Use synonyms if you forget a specific word. For example, say big if you can't remember enormous. These challenges might feel overwhelming at first, but they're all part of the process. By understanding these obstacles and facing them step by step, you'll build the confidence and skills you need to speak English fluently. Remember, every great speaker started right where you are now. Step 1. Build confidence. Confidence is the foundation of speaking English well. If you don't feel confident, it's easy to hesitate or avoid speaking altogether. But here's the good news. Confidence is a skill, and you can develop it with practice and the right mindset. 1. Overcome the fear of mistakes. One of the biggest barriers to confidence is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me? But the truth is, mistakes are normal, and they're how we learn. Think about this. When a child learns to walk, they fall many times before they succeed. It's the same with speaking English. Most people admire those who try, even if they make errors. What you can do: change your mindset. See mistakes as progress, not failure. Practice in a safe environment, like with a friend or a tutor, where it's okay to make mistakes. 2. Start small and build up. You don't have to speak like a native right away. Start with simple sentences and work your way up. Confidence grows with small victories. For example, begin with greetings and basic phrases like, "Hello, how are you?" or "I like coffee." Once you feel comfortable, add more details. "Hello, how are you? I like coffee because it helps me focus." By starting small, you'll feel successful, and success leads to more confidence. 3. Practice speaking without hesitation. Hesitation often happens when you overthink. You might translate words in your head or try to make every sentence perfect. Instead, focus on getting your message across. Practical tips: speak slowly if you need to. It's better to speak clearly than rush. Use fillers like let me think, or you know, to buy time and keep the conversation flowing. Repeat phrases you're confident about, like, "That's interesting," or "Can you explain that?" 4. Celebrate small wins. Every time you speak English, no matter how small the conversation, it's a win. Focus on your progress instead of perfection. For example, if you had a conversation in English, congratulate yourself, even if it wasn't perfect. If you remembered a new word, celebrate that too. Confidence exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and practice speaking English. For example, talk about your day or introduce yourself. Watching yourself speak can help you feel more comfortable and reduce fear. Building confidence takes time, but each step you take brings you closer to speaking English naturally. Remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll feel and the easier it will become. Keep going. Step 2. Learn to think in English. One of the secrets to speaking English well is learning to think directly in English. When you think in your native language and then translate, it slows you down and makes speaking more difficult. By thinking in English, you can respond faster and more naturally. Why thinking in English is important: speed. Translation takes time. If you think in English, your words will flow faster. Fluency. Thinking in English trains your brain to process the language like a native speaker. Confidence. When you're not translating, you feel less nervous about making mistakes. How to start thinking in English. 1. Start small. Use simple words and phrases. You don't need to think in complete sentences right away. Begin with simple words for everyday objects and actions. For example, if you see a cup, think cup. If you're walking, think I'm walking. Over time, expand to short sentences like I'm drinking coffee or it's sunny outside. 2. Narrate your day in English. Practice describing what you're doing, seeing, or feeling as if you're telling a story in your head. For example, when you wake up, I'm brushing my teeth. On your way to work, I see a bus. The sky is blue. This habit makes thinking in English a natural part of your routine. 3. Replace your inner voice. Everyone has an inner voice that talks to them throughout the day. Change that voice to English. For example, instead of thinking, Tango Hamra, think, I'm hungry. Instead of K or S, think, what time is it? At first it might feel strange, but it will get easier with practice.